probably plug that in. I like to plug in early.
You got the cord.
I thought I did.
You got the chargers?
Open the chargers and
We're recording right now.
pocket.
Record already?
Yeah.
All right, Shalom. We are the Hebrew Israelites. Bear with us just one moment while we make sure everything's all ready to go. And for you that are tuned in, if you normally tune into the GMS Sound Council page, it's down right now. So, you know, you can send this out to people that you know that don't tune in. And, you know, we're going to keep it rolling like this. So we'll start first with giving all praise and glory unto
Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushai, Ba'ashim Kakodash.
that belongs to the apostles and the other bishops and bishops of Great Millstone, the chief guide of the well. And greetings, salutations, blessings, and much love unto you, humble elect up there. Shalom unto you. All right? Another day out here, but it's not just another day to these other people. This is the so-called Easter Sunday. All right? So these people are in a whole other spirit right now. All right? They're coming not only in another spirit, but they're in a spirit of celebrating and worshiping another God, which we know, according to the scriptures, that, hey, you're not supposed to be doing that. Heavenly Father, when he chose us, we were supposed to be single unto him. Right? We was only supposed to be joined unto him and only worship him with the ordinances and the statutes and all the commandments that we're supposed to be following with him.
There's Exodus 20 at the top. And Yahweh spake all these words, saying.
Now, to understand, this is after we left out of Egypt. When you know the history of it, we've already left out of Egypt, and we're kind of in the wilderness. And then I believe we're around Mount Sinai when he's breaking it down for us, right? So we should already kind of know that that's where we're at in the history. And this is where the agreement was made that we would be one with our God versus just, you know, follow whatever we want to, which we see our people today just doing whatever the hell we want to do today.
Because after we left Egypt, the scriptures tell us the account. Basically, we left with the spoils of the Egyptians, but Jake basically took all that gold and made that mogul calf, that idol. Even though Yahweh Shah was making sure that Jake was fed, that they had water, that every base was covered, they still made an idol out of that gold, man. So this is a continuing like that, bro. It says, and Yahweh spake all these words, saying, I am the Lord thy power, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other gods before me.
So we were let free, and then when you really truly understand the history, we were let free, and our people was upset. Now, being captive, you were subject to all the rules of the other nations, or whoever the ruler is. You're subject to them. Our only ruler is our king, is our God. That's what we should be following. That's what we should be under. Now we are under this new system. There's a lot of names for this: the Babylonian system, the Roman system, a whole lot of other titles for this captivity that we're in now. Egypt again, Sodom in Egypt. We're all captive under this today. Yep, all under this. But at the same time, we still should be getting back to focus on our God, on our power. Okay, because that is still in play. It ain't what judges everything. I hate to use those words, but this ain't the end all be all following the laws. But it is a guideline to getting back in good graces with your God. Okay? If it needs to go now, you can get it. But
you can go after this.
Yeah, this is 4, and then this thing. It says, Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything.
So we're not supposed to build nothing. We shouldn't have any likeness of nothing else. And this isn't just a physical crucifix or idol of a statue or nothing. It shouldn't be any other thing, because it becomes graven when you start believing in it and worshiping it and following it and giving energy to it, so to speak. Yeah. All right.
It says, Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth.
Yep, nothing. And there's plenty of those. In the Catholic Church, there's the fish with Dagon. That's a whole nother god. There's the owl with what's the owl?
Molech.
Molech, the water. There's all types of Balaams and Baals and all these other gods, lords or whatever. Okay, there's a whole lot of pagan gods. And Easter goes back to one of the pagan gods, Ishtar, anyway. And they only go back even
Further than that.
Babylon
and Samaria.
There was, yeah, so if you go back to ancient Mesopotamia, Sumerian, and you had the, I mean, really this entity, she's repackaged in various forms. You know, each nation, you know, that worship, they had their own version of this particular deity. Right? But basically, the overall aspect of this deity was fertility worship. Right? The worship of the female anatomy, you know, her ability to have reproduction because she carries the egg, and that's what when you see on every so-called Ishtar Sunday, they have what you call Easter egg hunts. You know, but what the fuck do egg have to do with Easter egg bunnies? Yeah, with bunnies.
Resurrection.
Because if you think of a bunny, or you think quickly of humping. That's basically what they do. They you know,
Jackrabbits.
Doing it like a jackrabbit. They're the fastest producers of damn near all species. They're fruitful like hell. You know, so that's what, you know, that particular aspect of it, that's what comes into play when it comes to this pagan festivity.
Over-sexualize is another spin-off, if you will, from it, the energy that comes with it. We see that our people are hypersexualized.
To land back off what you just said as well, when you look at the Playboy bunny, you know, that's what it represents. It's an over-sexualization, you know, really a lust. You know, that's really what it is.
The lust of the flesh, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, Salaki, even going back before Nimrod, you know, in the garden, where Eve, she seen, you know, that fruit, you know, that fruit, all in philosophies, you know, that's where, you know, all them gods, you know, start springing up.
Exactly, all them ideas outside
right.
the boundaries. And you can't believe, you can't ignore, I should say, you got to believe that she saw this time come to fruition, where she worshiped, to where she ain't got to bring nothing to the table but her looks, and then she can doll those up in Crayola and Revlon and all of that as well. Okay, and put push-up bras, she can do the heels, she can do all of that. She ain't really got to be worth nothing on the inside or in her spirit. Okay, but that's not what our people were given. Okay? You said you had something right now?
Yeah, you know, just going into, you know, this day and everything you're talking about. Ecclesiastes 7:2. It is better to go to the house of mourning than to go to the house of feasting.
Because there's a lot of feasts that go on today, and one of the feasts, one of the main dishes at the feast, one of the main protein is pork. Is the Easter ham. You've seen it time and time again. Oh, we're doing Cornish hams, but you're still doing it toward Easter.
The spirit always give examples, bro.
Oh, you're right. Look, you can catch it at some point if you care, but.
But that is the end of all men, and the living will lay it to heart. Let me jump down to verse 4. The heart of the wise is in the house of mourning, but the heart of the fools is in the house of mirth. It is better to hear the rebuke of the wise than for a man to hear the songs of fools.
Now we're here speaking the rebuke of the wise unto our people, that they'll stop following after the BS. Okay, that they'll be in a state of mourning if they understood what's coming to the earth. The collapse of the money system, the collapse of structured society as we know it. We know that troubles, famine, pestilences are already here. Okay, and it's going to only escalate and get far worse. But if people are going to be gunning each other down, rather than trying to kill each other in the streets like it ain't nothing, man. I mean, shit, you go on World Star long enough, you're going to find that algorithm that's going to show it to you, man. Niggas just pull out the heat and just switch cheese each other, man, left and right. Over little or nothing. Well, this is going to be worth something when it's for the last food, when it's for the last ration of something, last drink of water or whatever is out there. Okay? These things are truly coming to the earth, and we're here to warn you about it. It's 2023. Where you people at, man? Y'all don't notice what's going on in the earth? It's happening everywhere. but you got your head so far off the Easter bunny's ass that you miss it.
Sorry.
That was
Somebody, no, that was it for that one.
This is Psalms 81 verse 9. It says, there shall no strange God be in thee, neither shalt thou worship any strange God.
This is a strange God. What makes it a strange God? Let's make a quick analogy. So if I'm married unto a woman, right? But then we're walking down the street, all of a sudden she turned off, start talking to another man, holding his hand. Like, who's this strange ass nigga you dealing with? Who's this guy?
It's
It's
adultery.
a stranger now. Okay? You're supposed to be here with me, being, with connected to me. Not some old random man on the side.
It's called
Okay.
adultery.
It's directly adultery, and it's spiritual adultery.
Right.
It's a day like today that our people usually get caught in. We just had an example of a Jake woman, okay, walking around with Easter bunny ears on.
Yeah, just now.
Okay, and in a good spirit. She heard the spirit that we was in and had to keep pushing. It's cool to go stand in front of men thinking you're gonna get something till you realize they're not looking at you with that,
She would have stuck around if she saw us staring with suits, suit and ties, pink ties.
Yeah.
Soft
Pastel
framing.
We'd have had a
colors.
couple baskets sitting out here with,
Yep.
with the candy and
And for the kids.
But she saw the spirit up here and was like, yeah, let me keep it moving.
They look rough, and even though it was crazy is women like that rough look on a man's beard and all. They like that in their spirit, but they know they can't control it. And so that goes against everything that Ishtar, Easter, and Queen of Heaven worship and Semiramis and Tammuz, which we didn't really touch too deep on yet. Okay, it goes all against that.
Yeah, the word
Yeah,
convicts
boy.
them.
Say that
The
again?
word convicts them.
Exactly.
You know, we got the look, but we bringing out the word.
Word,
It convicts
exactly.
them.
Will truly
Offends them, man.
Mm-hmm. You got more?
That was it. I had another
You
scripture.
got it?
It's Exodus 23 and 13. And in all things that I have said unto you, be circumspect and make no mention of the name of other gods.
Make no mention of the name. So when somebody's like Happy Easter, what do you think they're commemorating? Okay? What do you think what mention they're making? What do you think they're going to get you to tap into the energy of? Okay? They're trying to get you in the energy of another God. And then they look at you weird if you don't. And you know how hard it is growing up in a situation like this, growing up in a place like this, and trying to detach yourself from it? Matter of fact, I'll quote it, that's all right, I'll quote it. Micah 2:10, it says, depart, for this is not your rest. This place just naturally got you following after other gods, following after other energies, which the Father of the Spirit sees this shit, he's not pleased with it. Okay? He knows sincerely we're not here worshiping this stuff when we bring it up and people say certain shit and you just kind of gotta play it off the Clark Kent, but at the end of the day, man, our people that ain't tied into this, man, he ain't feeling it. It's gonna be a major issue in the earth, man. You about to bring it.
It says, neither let it be heard out of thy mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, that's,
Yeah.
that's similar to, you married to a woman and somehow, some way, she just keeps talking about this other guy. The name of this other guy keeps coming out of her mouth. At some point, that spirit of jealousy is gonna come upon you. Why you keep talking about this guy? Who is this guy? What dealings do you have with him? Are you intimate with him? Or y'all having y'all intimacy with each other, and out of nowhere, his name accidentally gets blurted out.
In your spirit.
That right there, that's like a deal breaker, man. But that's likened to when Jake is worshiping these other gods and idols and calling upon their names. When Jake alongside with an Arab talk about some, that A word, Allah.
Yeah.
When they get to doing all that, that's the equivalent.
Jake practicing Ramadan.
Yeah.
Who was that to? Who was that all that energy goes to who? Another power, another God. It ain't, you're not sacrificing, you're not afflicting your spirit for Yahweh